everybody, it is Cinnamon Cooney, and tonight on Facebook, I'm going to show you how you can paint a close-up of an eye. We're going to focus on an eye in watercolor. We're also doing a giveaway. We expected the description of the video to come with it, but it didn't, so we had to make it last minute. It's in the giveaway tab. The links are in the post. My moderators, when they're here, should be able to help you guys locate that. I'm going to make sure I've got that. There's a...
I see people.
Peoples are finding it.
Hello, all the
So
peoples.
we're giving away a really cool thing. I'm giving away during the live. You have to be here during the live. A La Petite, if John can show us our desk, because we don't need to look at my name forever. La Petite watercolor set. This is the one that has a strap on the back. Brand new, not this one. I'll give you a new one. This is the one that I use. But you would get your own, because I know it's hard to get art supplies right now, right? It's like kind of challenging to get art supplies. So hopefully our moderators will find the location. They'll start dropping the links to the giveaway for you guys.
So what I have discovered is that being an artist is much like being like a fantasy mage where you have to quest for all of your supplies. You have to get like all of your magic supplies to be able to cast your spells. So
I will accept this analogy, sir. I will accept it as valid. Having been a long time artist and art instructor, I'm going to say that yes, like exactly the same as gaming and questing. Just the same. Except
now there's way more questing to get your supplies.
Except now there's way more. I don't know, man. Sometimes farming in certain games seems like sometimes I think I would be faster to make this stuff. Like by hand in the real world.
But now we have to go out into the world and
get
supplies.
But you don't have to sit there and make it. We're going to give away one set to one lucky winner. There's 2 ways to enter. I don't see, if you could reach out to our team, John, because I haven't seen them in the live, to make sure that they're here to share the giveaway links. But
yes,
again,
Cynthia, if you win, I will send it to you in Canada.
Yes. Yeah, actually, so the basic rules are this. I'm going to teach you a class for free. You guys can participate. You don't have to participate to win. There's just 2 ways to enter. One of them is you have to visit the page. You don't actually have to do anything on there. It just tracks that you visited it. And then you answer a question about what your favorite primary color is. And there's no particular right answer in this giveaway. You need to be a resident of planet Earth, though John seems to think Elon Musk will help us out. But I'm going with general resident of planet Earth. And you have to be in a location that, receives mail in a regular way. And it has to be under $100 to ship to you.
If you're off planet and Elon delivers to you, we'll figure it out.
And here, when we call your name to claim it.
You must be here.
And here, I see our moderator. Yeah, we need the 3 links, which was in a previous post. And also in the event. The links are also in the event. Oh, by the way, this event is always entirely free. It doesn't cost anything to be here. You don't have to take a link off site to go anywhere.
Thank you, Colleen.
You want to really beware any links that take you away from Facebook on these streams unless you know you got them directly from the host. And my name is Cinnamon Cooney, the Art Sherpa. So if it doesn't say those things, it's probably not me. And also, if anyone pretended to be me, our entire team would tell you. So you're safe here. All right, so this is our reference, and because I understand that sometimes people do not feel like drawing is what they want to be doing, you have a traceable provided to you. Now, the traceable is in the event. Under posts, you would just right-click it and print it out. I suggest that you print out the size that you want to paint based on the size of your paper, so that way, no matter what paper you have, you can paint with me. Now, we're going to be using watercolor. Watercolors I showed you here, the Sennelier in the student and in the professional for this lesson. I'm going to probably be demoing a lot of the student just so you guys can see how they work. And this one I was swatching right when y'all came in, like as if you walked into my classroom. Like when y'all came in, I was swatching. And so we're going to be doing that, and we'll be talking about that. You can use any watercolors that you have. I am painting on Fabriano 140-pound watercolor paper. I do not recommend getting any lighter than 140-pound watercolor paper because it will really, really buckle. Even so, I was just talking about this with somebody, their paper still buckled because paper, when it gets wet, the fibers don't stretch and move in the exact same thing. So unless you're on a watercolor block where you have pre-stretched your paper, you will get a little bit of that. I told her my little hack, my workaround, John's going to laugh at this, is to leave things in the scanner. I didn't know this would officially work until I left some things in the scanner, and I was like, wow, that really flattened everything out. I should use that intentionally from now on. I see Amy Ovard is here, and Lydia Duncan Mabry, and Monica Whittle, who's coming from Australia. You can be a winner in Oz. So you can be in Australia or Austria, either one. Australia or Austria. What do you think of that? I'm going to put out a little bit of brown. So this is called swatching. And whether you're painting with me with Crayola or the Sennelier watercolors that I have here on swatches, what you always want to do is kind of take little samples of the watercolors that you're playing with, and you put out a little mark, and then you label what they are if you need to know that. And that will always help you kind of know what you've got when you're painting so that it doesn't take you by surprise. And it kind of gives you an idea. I have a yellow, I have an orange, I have a kind of deep fire red, I have kind of a pinkish red, I have a ultramarine blue, phthalo green, light green. I have a yellow ochre, very good color. I have a burnt sienna, and I have a Payne's gray. So you don't have to have these exact colors, so I really promise you. Kind of all give and go. I also told you guys that I would show you, because there were some concerns about not being able to use the traceable, how you would use that. So I'm going to start that here. I'm going to put my reference photo on this side. So whenever you print out the traceable, you would flip it over. I'm going to use my curated color aqua pencils. You could just use an HB pencil. Don't take my need to be fancy as an imperative for you to go art supply shopping. So if you want all this stuff, we have it for sale in our store, in the Acrylic April store, not the Art Sherpa store. The Acrylic April store.
Well, the Art Sherpa store has a whole different set of stuff for sale now.
Yeah, the Art Sherpa store has a whole different set of stuff for sale because we've got the 13 days of Halloween coming up.
Which is pretty cool.
Is officially one of our big things. We do a couple big events every year, 13 days of Halloween, Acrylic April, because apparently sometimes I like to sit there and say, what would make what I do much more involved and busy? Oh, I know what. Let's live stream every day. And I'll teach a class, raw and live.
How about you add a 5-minute video to that?
Which we just did. We did. Because people kept saying, I really love you, Sherpa. I love you so much, but I don't have 2 and 3 hours to spend on your classes. And so we said, fine, 5-minute class. So every day there's a 5-minute class now on the YouTube channel. So you can see that what I did is I just rubbed my pencil. This is a graphite aquarelle. If you want to ever get one of these, I think they're really cool. They're by Cretacolor. And I think they're great, but a regular pencil will just work fine. Just fine. Now, pro tip. You guys ready for the pro tip? Free pro tip. All right, and Colleen's going to be look for Colleen dropping links to the contest for tonight, for the giveaway. And remember, you've got to be here to win the watercolor set. The La Petite Travel Sennelier watercolor set. Doesn't that sound fancy? People will be like, what are you painting with? And you're like, La Petite Sennelier Travel watercolor set. I'm a plein air painter. What do you want? I don't know why you would be punchy about your art, but I'm just doing that. I don't know why you would be so defensive, but there we go. Oh, there we go. So alternate link to the contest. Colleen is delivering it. Also, if you're familiar with the Facebook page, you can always find my giveaways on the giveaway tab. Super easy. If you're watching me from Facebook, chances are the giveaway tab likes you. On the other post, I also gave you the contact information to the company that created the software for this giveaway. So if it gives you any trouble, you let them know.
Tell them what for.
I bet that they were like, what is going on? I'm like, I empower my people. You know what I mean? Like, I empower them. So I'm just going over all the lines. This is pretty much how you make any traceable work. You can do this with coloring books. You can do this with your photos. You can do this with really anything.
Were you in the middle of telling us about a pro tip?
I was. Tape your traceable down. Pro tip, as I don't act professionally. Let's see. Today, on today's 5-minute video, blooper.
Well, everyone was like, hey, so you said pro tip. What's the tip?
The pro tip is to always tape your traceable down. If you don't do this, what will happen is the traceable will shift. And one of the things that you can do is if you tape it, you can check it to make sure that the transfer is working. When you put it back down, it won't move to some other location. Gives you a little more security in your experience. I'm going to put my little eyebrow here. If you guys like makeup tutorials, you're going to really enjoy the eyebrow class. And we're going to really get into our lashes. I don't have to trace my lashes onto here. And I'm going to really break down lashes. So you're going to leave this feeling like, oh yeah, I totally know how to do lashes. So there we go. I have a nice transfer, basic lines of my drawing right there. You can see it's light. Your pencil will be light too, and that is okay. Some people like to then ink everything ahead of time. I have an Edding 1880. I ink after. But some people like to ink ahead of time so they can really see those lines, and that really helps them, you know. No right or wrong here. Just you doing you.
All right.
All right.
You're an eye person.
I love painting me some eyes.
You have eye skills.
I have eye skills. If you go to the event, I've just dropped like maybe 3-4 lessons I've done on eyes. I've done many lessons on eyes. I like to give them eye lessons. Give them all the time. Oops, we didn't do that. All right. So first I'm going to take out my yellow oxide here, and I'm going to put it on this little palette. You can use the plastic tray, and I'm going to get this pink or red, not the fire red, but the pink or red. And I'm going to mix these two together. And this is going to be the start or the basis of my skin tone. I'm going to continue to add water to it to wet it down, because you know what we use for the white, Don? And people at home. Do you know what we use for the white?
Jeez.
The paper. And you're like, but the set gives you white. Yeah, I know, but we don't use that. It's nice that they did. So how I'm going to do is I get just a very little bit of this. And I'm going to come here. And I'm going to just put in this very, very light skin tone. Now I can glaze with other colors and everything. But this is the light skin tone. And you can see how truly, the paper is what gives us the added white. I am going to bring this up above my eyebrow and hopefully not lose my eyebrow line. But as Mark Charles has taught all the sisters, right, we know how to do an eyebrow. We're going to microplane this thing. Used to be really against that. And apparently somebody did it and he loves it, so I don't know. Sounds like eyebrow tattoo in fancier speak to me. But maybe I'm wrong. Got the contest, need video for tutorial link. We're here for the tutorial, right, Sylvia? We're here. Unless I'm answering the wrong question, at which point I apologize. So we're going to just come out here and we're going to do a lot of skin tone. There's no real point going in too much right now into the lid because we're going to come in with some purple. Now, this particular set, right, is doesn't have a purple in it. So when you don't have a purple in your set, you've got to mix it. To mix that in this set, I'm going to pull out this ultramarine blue. Boom, boom, boom. I'll rinse out, get some of my red, and you mix these together, and that's how I'm going to get to what color? My purple. Look at me get there. Watch me work. Now, if I come here early and I put this out while things are still wet, look what happens. It's like I blended my eyeshadow. I'm going to make sure that I bring this in here. You know, and then this kind of comes along in the eye.
Now, what brush are you using there?
I am using a number 8 black velvet. I'm going to bring the toe of the brush. That's this tip part. This is a number 8 round. You could use a crystal number 8. You can use any good watercolor brush. Watercolor brushes tend to be a little bit better if they're made from natural hair. But if you're vegan or vegetarian or concerned about that, you absolutely can use a good soft Taklon. And continue, and I'm going to come under the eye because we got to smoke under here, don't we? This is like, really, honestly, this is just a fun makeup application. Get that nice little makeup application. Smoking it out.
Ooh.
Yes.
So Peggy was asking, how can she find your IGTV tutorials?
My IGTV tutorials, well, we have all of them on here on Facebook, and then we have them on our website, www.theartsherpa.com. Just search watercolor on there and it'll pull up the 100 and something tutorials we have. You can get the app Instagram, and Instagram has IGTV, and you can follow me and watch my IGTV. If you think that's cool, you can check out my reels, my very new reels. I'm very proud of my reels. Those are just short videos with awesome music. So lots of ways to get to them. If you come here to Facebook, you'll notice that the page has like a video tab. And when you click that, that takes you to all the video links. And I do try to break things up into playlists. And the nice thing about pre-mixing my watercolor, if you see this right here, is I can come back if I need it. And look, it has more. Add that there. Watercolor does this soft diffusing when it's wet. So if there's a point in which you would want it to do this soft diffusing, I'm going to add a little red into this. And I'm going to come into the eye right here. A little bit of this red.
Thelma says, these links, they do nothing.
The links do nothing?
We have to make sure there's a mobile link and a desktop link. We'll make sure we get them both in there.
So the mobile, just for mobile link, which is the short link, does not work on your desktop. But again, the page, the Art Sherpa page itself has, if you open up the more, it'll go a giveaway, and you go there and the giveaway is right there also. Yes. So we do try to make it possible to get there. I'm going to get a little white out. I'm going to get a little, not white, this is blue, ultramarine blue. And come here and add a little ultramarine blue to this, a couple of places, like you do. Somebody do.
You do.
Come along the lid. You can see we're really creating some nice makeup technique here.
That'd be really cool if you could do like real makeup like that.
You can. Actually,
like with watercolor brushes and like watercolor and just like paint.
Oh, like on people's faces? I'm going to put a pin in that because I bet somebody has figured out how to do it. I'm going to get a little bit of my yellow.
I watercolor your face.
I'm just saying I have seen the most amazing stuff online, and I would always bet on the creators unless they're on TikTok. And then I have to go creator by creator because the latest grouping of TikTok challenges, man, it really tested my don't comment on other creators counts rule. But I guess some people survived the Tide Pod challenge and they thought, how can we take a risk next?
Crazy.
I'm just constantly trying to keep poisons out of my body. So the idea and like sulfites and having my water tested, and you're constantly thinking about microplastics and all the stuff that we worry about. And then people are like, you know what? What would happen if I ate this Tide Pod? You have to call poison control. Let me shortcut this mystery for you. Poison control.
There's a whole lot of Darwinist questions that get asked.
I'm going to get into my phthalo blue and mix that in here. It does make me question many, many things. I'm going to come along where the eye crease would be. Along the eye crease, as you can see, coming forward. Sort of fun to do. I think it's really great.
Okay, so
I
imagine there's some tips to keep your skin tones from being muddy.
The tip from keeping your skin tones from being muddy is really when they muddy in the first place, because you can see that these aren't particularly muddy. Your base skin tone, if it is Caucasian, and keep in mind, my favorite book, which is 400 Skin Tone Recipes from the Walter Foster Publishing Company, there's 400 skin tone recipes. So all the stuff that's going on in the world right now, take that, put it in a box, and put it aside for later consideration. For the purposes of art, there are 400 mixes for skin tones. For light skin tones, mostly European, the recipe will be a pinkish red, a yellow or gold yellow, sometimes a little bit of burnt sienna, and then you can gray it with ultramarine. So in watercolor, you want to use the white for your paper, and that's going to keep things bright for you.
And maybe some clean water?
Clean water is essential. You can add more pink into the mix if you want it to your skin tones to pink up in a couple places. Right, like I can come along the eye and say, but maybe it's a little more pink here. Maybe a little more pink.
Trey says you could do this with eyeshadow blending.
You can do this with eyeshadow. You could probably do this with eyeshadow. I've seen eyeshadows used like pastels quite adeptly, quite expertly, like in a way where I was like, well, that's just darn impressive. Now, in this point from the eye up to the brow, we're going to just come in. There's a bit of a shadow here. All right, we're going to go ahead and put that little shadow in. It just helps to build this stuff up a little bit over time and not hit the whole thing at once. And then I'm going to come under here and add a little bit of a dark value coming back. A little bit of a dark value coming back. Now, coming into my blue here, maybe some of this red. Try to get a real dark purple going.
Get
a little dark. Yeah, we got to get fierce.
Fierceness.
Fierce. Blend here. Blend at the corner of your eye. I like that pop of blue. It did a thing I didn't expect, but I really like it, so I'm gonna leave it.
What is this? I have not seen it since the 80s. What is the blush technique where you create a hard line on the cheekbone?
Are you saying that I did that with my cheeks today?
No, but I mean, like, I've seen
No,
that.
do you guys remember with the Color Me Beautiful book and you had like the triangle blush? It's like, I will make 2 dark triangles. Thank you to the makeup gurus for contouring. Thank you. Contouring was a gift to the world, a gift to us all. Yay for contouring. Good contouring.
Back in the 80s, there was like much more popular to have like that, hard line blush on the cheek line.
Yes, it was. Well, there was a lot of craziness in the 80s.
There was some cooler makeup for sure.
I don't know if it was cooler. It definitely had its own style. Now, for the interior of the eye, really, we've got to let it dry so that we can paint in there before we come in and do anything. Another thing that I may want to do is come in with my wet brush. What you're going to see me do is kind of make sure that this is softened. So we just don't have too hard of a line, just like regular makeup, guys. How nice is that? Wipe off. If it's too wet, definitely get the extra water because you don't want your paper to overbuckle. Eyebrows. Do I have them still here? I do. Okay. So the eyebrow, we're going to start with just this brown and a little bit of our warm red together. And we're going to come in and, oh my goodness, my lines are really a hot mess, but we're going to come in and start. Just like when you're doing your eyebrows, you are going to want to put in a sort of like, I didn't overdo here. It probably did. Or not. Okay, I think we're good. We made Brooke Shields these eyebrows out. Let's hold on with me for a second and we'll see. But the idea is to create a nice arc over the eye bone. And then we shade this in, right? And we'll come back with our eyebrow hair after this is shaded in. But this is like when you're filling in your eyebrows before you put in the dark lines. Because I'm going to brook it out. Brook it out. There we go. We brooked it. Brook happens. That's what you're going to do. So we're going to get up there and you're going to want, this to dry because what you can't do is get a hard line on wet paper. The watercolor just will not do that. If you want to win your own set that I'm demoing here, the La Petite Sennelier travel palette, the one with the really cool bungee for your hand on the back. I love that so much. Go ahead and there are links. Please enter. You do have to be here during the show.
Mm-hmm.
When we announce your name, saying me. And then we got to verify you. All right, there we go. So that's doing pretty well. As things dry, then you can come back and do other stuff with it. Now, here in the eye is a very special kind of reflection. I'm going to pull out just a little bit of my blue. And I'm going to paint what I have going on in the reflection a bit. And I can always come back with my jelly pen, a handy dandy white tool. I also have white here, but you can kind of see what happens when you do it. You do get a little bit of white. It's just not as white as you might hope. Like I can take this and it's almost like gouache. See how we're doing? It's a bit like a gouache on the set if you haven't ever used that. You can get a little bit of kind of cream back, but it doesn't completely opaquely layer. You know, so if I come here into the white, you can see that it does a thing. It does do a bit of that. And that's kind of cool, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of reminiscing on 80s makeup.
80s makeup is so cool.
See, I always like Priss's makeup from Blade Runner. She just wore the black band. Pris from Blade Runner. She just had the black band. It was like no eyeshadow. It was just black.
Was that Daryl Hannah? Because Sean Young was the main bot, so wasn't Daryl Hannah Pris?
I don't know if that was Daryl Hannah or not. I don't know. I don't think so.
Why would I know that? Why am I sitting here like knowing that and caring about that on any level? I'm going to go ahead and get a little orange here.
Who is that?
I'm going to come add a little orange to this line here because I just think it will improve everything. I like the way that that's blending. We're letting that dry. Now we know that that's going to be the reflection in the eye, and the eye is kind of like a blue-gray. So we can come in here and we can take a little bit of our ultramarine and our Daryl Hannah. Did I say somebody else?
McQueen?
What?
Butterfly McQueen? Yeah, Daryl Hannah. Certainly was. My gosh. You know what? I'm
actually sort of useful on trivia night sometimes. So this is my ultramarine and my phthalo green. And we come around here.
I just, it just totally broke my brain to see a picture of her, Pris next to her. And then my brain just went, wait.
You didn't know that she did that?
I think I did, but just
didn't tell yourself the truth.
It just didn't connect those dots. That you know what I mean. Like you say it in the abstract. That was a young actress.
You do say it in the abstract. I'm going to get some yellow here. We're going to add some yellow to the inlay.
Gosh.
Huh?
Anyway.
No, that's beautiful girl.
Funny thing.
If you like Splash and you're okay with Korean rom-coms, Legend of the Blue Sea is amazing. Actually, I like it better than Splash. I find the mermaid stuff in it funnier. Gonna add a little bit of this right here.
Irene is like, yes, it is Daryl Hannah.
Oh, good. I feel so validated.
Some other Blade Runner, people.
So wipe off your brush on your paper whenever you need to pull back a little extra pigment. See how we can do? This is one of the things that I love about watercolor. Love.
Yeah, she was also in Splash.
Yeah, we all know she was in Splash.
Where she showed her diverse acting skills.
First of all, Mannequin and Splash were both amazing tour de forces, works of cinema. I love them, and you will not...
Montrose.
I love them. I'm going to add a little bit of orange to this eye through here. I'm going to just touch these a few places. The human eye is a wonderful, beautiful thing to paint. It's just a joy. Really cannot express how much I love doing stuff with it. And it's nice to put these weird little pops of color unexpectedly into the eye. It just really is. As you build that up, it'll just get gorgeouser and gorgeouser. That's still kind of wet, so we've got to let that get dry. Elaine Haynes says, hello, everyone. Hello, Elaine Haynes. Are you learning to paint today? I hope so, because it's super fun to do. And honestly, it's very calming. Maybe I'm not calming, but painting is calming, right? Because, you could paint with, Zen music on and incense and a candle. But I'm teaching, so maybe that's the alternate link if you'd like to enter to win your own set. There's 2 ways to enter. There it is. Colleen will keep dropping the links. Hey, the best arrow roll was Steel Magnolias. Really? Because I was going to say Black Mamba. I do like Steel Magnolias. I love Steel Magnolias. John won't watch that. I like Steel Magnolias. Love Yaya Sisters. There's a whole list of movies that I don't watch. We've been married decades. And the rule is, there's certain things I watch where John's like, you know what would make this movie better? If a zombie apocalypse would happen right now. If he says that 3 times, we don't watch that movie together anymore. So that's pretty much everything by Jane Austen. The irony that somebody did Zombies, Pride and Prejudice has not escaped me.
It was a good book. Add zombies to Pride and Prejudice, thing gets a little more lively.
I'm going to come along here with a little darker color. I'm going to bring this darker color around right now. I like to do this. This is my favorite part. This is my favorite part, John.
Is it?
It is. It really is. It really, really is. And then I can come in with some fine little lines. Don't make them everywhere, just some of the places.
Ooh, they have a new deal where because they can't drop links anymore, so now the spammers are coming in here and telling us that you have to text them, and they win something. That's right. I'm banning.
Yeah,
Baba.
I know. We have a coloring page if you'd like to color a troll and send a message to
fun.
our boutique troll spammer. Do you want to hear what the ruling was from Facebook? Because we got all the way sent up there. They're calling them fan pages.
It's just
fans like these.
Well,
my goodness. But you never know. Maybe someday I'll hear from our troll who was like, I was really lost in my life. Things weren't working out. But then, I just broke down and did a painting. And now I'm a better person. It's a hope that I have. That's all I can say. I'm going to leave this like it is right here because I'm going to want to do a dark value up here. We do kind of a shadow under the lid. And I think that our eyebrows are ready. I'm going to take my brown and my black together. Brown and black. I'm going to mix them together. A little black, a little brown. Let's burn up that sienna even more. So burned is the sienna. Coming on the toe of the brush. I'm going to make little eyebrow hairs, my favorite. And I love how with eyebrows, you can kind of have they're organized to direction, but they're not perfectly in direction. It's sort of like a general herding of cats is eyebrow hairs.
Yeah. Yep, I got I pounced on Ahalisan Salafu Baba. I totally kicked that troll to the curb.
You guys probably don't know this. I have analytics, and we have fans from all over the world.
Oh, yeah, we do.
So to our genuine painters from anywhere in the world, we absolutely know the difference.
Although I do to try to...
And we are an inclusive community. We love everybody. We are in 250 countries.
I am an equal opportunity butcherer of names.
Yes.
I just like to try them all. I don't do good with all of them, but I like to try. It's an attempt. I'm going to try this one. Salmaya.
Mm-hmm.
She really loves how you're doing the fine line painting. So, do you have any tips to doing those fine lines?
So when you're trying to learn how to do fine lines, right? The practice is generally get any paint that you're doing, and you're going to want to get your paper. Take the brush that you have, whatever it is, and you try to make the tiniest lines you can, and then press down on the brush and release, and make tiny, tiny lines, and press down on the brush and release tiny, tiny lines. This is true for acrylic. This is true for watercolor. What this does is help you tune in to the brush's responsiveness to your pressure. Because you will put pressure through your body, through your core, through your shoulder. I'm not a fitness expert. I'm just saying this is where it comes from, through everything. And so as you're painting, you're going to get that. Now, not every brush gives you the same kind of line, right? I have here, this is a much less expensive brush. This is a crystal. And you can see it is not as a refined brush as the other, but it will still give me very fine lines. I just have to really, really lighten up to get it. See, I can still get there. This is easy. This takes a little more focus, but I can get there. So don't, and that's all synthetic. So again, if you're vegan, don't feel like pressured that you've got to kill a squirrel to get a good watercolor brush. The squirrel watercolor brushes are great. The Kolinsky's are not, I think, even illegal or available anymore. But the natural hairs are great. And you can just continue. You can see that these strokes sort of follow a path, and we're just doing exactly what we do for our own eyebrows. Think of these as microblading.
So when you're doing those fine lines, Are you loading just the tip, or are you loading less?
So this is how a watercolor brush works, very different from an acrylic brush. I mean, they have the same sort of basic engineering, but a watercolor brush does something even more. It has what I call a thirsty belly. It pulls up a lot of water and a lot of pigment into this part of its belly. And the toe releases it in the same way you might think of a calligraphy pen. So as I'm going through painting and pressing down, it's releasing the pigment. So I don't really ever end up with some of those similar things that I might run into with, say, acrylic brushes. And got that. Got some nice eyebrows. No phrase tonight, guys. Just 2 ways to enter. You can visit the page. You don't have to follow it. You just visit it. Just look at it. It will mark it. And then pick your favorite primary, red, yellow, or blue. There's no right answer. We're going to randomly select a person. When the contest ends, Colleen's going to let us know when we're going to... What time is it?
It is nighttime, 7:38.
7:38. So in a little bit, we'll close the contest down, and Colleen will pick a winner. And you've got 10 minutes to be like, yeah, that's me. That's me. That's me. We'll make sure that you've got a Facebook account we can track you on. All right, so this is looking pretty good. I can come up into here right now, and I'm going to take my blue to do it, and I'm going to mix into my purple. When you want a darker purple, right, the trick is to get more blue. When you want it to be lighter, you get more red. Now that this is dry, it won't do this nice sort of blending thing, so I can come in and create this crease line. Look at that, very easily.
So do you prefer real or synthetic fiber for your watercolor?
Real. I'm sorry, I do. Personally. I don't mind a blend, and there are some good alternatives these days, but I do really like the real. I do.
The real.
The real. I'm going to get my blue here, and I might even get into my black a little bit. I'm going to make a very dark color. And I'm going to come over the lid, and we're going to do a little bit of lining. A great way to practice your eyeliner. As I come over the lid, I will thicken the lining a bit. That means I'm pressing down. The angle brush here can show you how hard I'm pressing when I want that line to thicken. Now we're getting that sort of thicker line. It's easier to make a line thicker than it is to make it thinner, so sometimes it's nice to take a minute and let it do its thing and then come in and do that. Now I'm going to get back into, interestingly enough, my skin tone. A little bit of my skin tone right here. And we're going to come inside the eye. And we're going to do the tear duct. I sometimes will let the tear duct show a little bit of white, and I may even still come back and add white to it. This is the line inside the eye.
You have any tips to having a steadier hand when you're painting? I'm going to zoom out.
If your hand is very unsteady, go online or in the art store if you have one that's open, and look at a tool called a drawing bridge or a painting bridge. It is a rest that will help you steady your wrist.
It's a stick.
Well, no, that's a maul stick. That's for when you're standing at an easel. But for drawing over this, there's a little bridge that goes over it, so you can really rest your hand and steady it while not touching the paper or drawing or anything in any way. Very important tool.
You can look at them online.
Huh?
You could probably go look at them online.
Yeah,
and
you
realize
could go look at them online.
a stick with a ball on the end of it.
No, that's a maul stick.
I know, but even at the table, you could make that work.
Yeah, no, I would still do a bridge. I wouldn't do a maul stick at the table.
You could do like bridges or things you could craft at home.
You could craft a bridge.
You could craft a bridge.
That is an accurate statement. You could craft a bridge. You could craft it. That's true. I'm going to come in with my brown and green together.
Bridge crafting. Not what you would think.
And I'm taking my brown and my green together, and I'm kind of coming around the eye again. As you do. Now, up here, it will be a bit darker. And I'm going to pull a little bit of this in. There's this shadow thing that's going to happen up here at the eye. I'm going to come across the top with this. Even dark, 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 dark. Come across the top of the eye. I don't want to lose my reflection that I very carefully worked on getting. Come the other way with this little dark line. So this is a little dark at the center of the iris. Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
I love doing this. It makes me so happy. I see. Sometimes I use my other hand to rest on. Yeah, you could go like this if you needed to use your other hand to rest on. It's really about steadying your arm. And I know sometimes it can feel like if you're really shaky that you can't paint. I want you to look up an artist named Chuck Close. He, there was some maybe possibly scandal around him a while ago, and I never know what the end result of that was. So I kind of, what I'll say is, if you run into that, you'll have to make up your own mind. I don't know. I never heard like a final kind of like court result or anything, and I don't know what it was. But as an artist, he was injured in an accident, and he was completely paraplegic. And he ended up becoming, even though he was one of the great artists before the accident, he became one of the great, great artists of all time after. And if you're looking for some inspiration and some understanding about how artists overcome like extreme shaking and stuff like that, that is a good place to definitely look. Come in here a bit. Come in a bit. Bring that in. We've got the reflection. We want to keep that reflection going, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about this here is this will be darker because the eye will be in shadow. It looks pretty already, says Salma. I did that right, Salma, the last time, and then I didn't do it right now. I am sorry. I'm like, Debbie Land says it's so beautiful. I appreciate that. I want you guys to feel like yours is beautiful.
Now, if you have no sound, you probably can't hear this advice, but you should refresh or check your volume. But that's probably not useful
if you have no sound. But the people there can be like, text people and say, hey.
My heart goes out to you people without sound because I am the invisible man.
I'm going to get into my black. On this particular set, the black isn't that dark, but I want to use what I have here. And we're going to talk a little bit about eyelashes. When I'm doing eyelashes, one of the things that's important is to remember the curve and the fact that they are kind of a hot mess. When you're coming forward on the eye, they have a tendency to really, really be curved more towards, on the left-hand side, more towards the left. And then as you get them down to the center, they kind of curve down this way. And so I like to pick the center eye. I'm getting a little long with my downward lashes. I'm getting a little Betty Boop, but exaggeration is just the best part of painting. They are longest towards the corner of the eye in general. That is not true of everybody's lashes, but in general, they are longer towards the corner. The bottoms are often shorter than the top, but apparently I've just gotten real excited with my lashes. Notice that I curve these and sometimes have them cross each other. That's because lashes do that crazy nonsense. Sometimes what we're tempted to do with lashes is to do a deal like this and then feel kind of unsatisfied.
What is the name and number?
Of?
I'm not a number, I'm a real man. I think the brush is what they're asking.
This is a black velvet number 8 round. Black velvet number 8 round. Got some nice lashes on the bottom. I like those. Those are fairly decent. While I'm here, I'm going to add a little bit of red into my little mix over here. I might even get a little blue into it. And that's the shadow color of the skin. And I'm going to come inside the tear duct here. I'm going to shade under there. I'm going to come inside the tear duct. On the outside a bit here. There we go. That's looking pretty good. The inside of the eye is actually, interestingly enough, kind of a gray color. And this one here will do that just fine. But it's very light. And I'm going to leave some room because there's some pink that blends into this. It's a delicate dance, my friend. A delicate dance. So you want to start with it, you know, being as light as you can withstand. And then as you come around, you can always easily add pigment. If you have too much there, you can come back with your brush, as you can see. Paper's still toned, it's still impacted, but you pulled some of the extra out. While this is all still like this, I'm going to grab just a bit of this pink. So light, so barely there. I'm going to let that blend, that hint of that colorant. We're going to do a similar thing here. Hint of a colorant. I wipe off on a paper towel and I'll blend these two zones together. Right. I'm going to come in and get some of that red, some of this little pinkish red, and I will come in just the inside right here, coming up. Tear ducts are their own little challenge. I'm going to come along the eye. Along that lid is a lot of fun. You can see it leaves kind of a red line, and then I'm going to come back with sort of a damp brush and look at the circular motions. Look how I can kind of blend that into the paper. And soften that where there's this very fine dark value, but there's a softening there you would want. Come in, add a little black gray to that.
How could you?
And then I'm going to come along the inside under the lid right here. How could I
age this eye up? Make it an older eye.
Well, my two things.
Wrinkles?
You can wrinkle it. You can droop the lid and make it less of a defined upper arc and lower lid. But the real honest truth is if you're trying to paint older eyes, step out, get references, paint those older eyes, right? The act of taking a young eye or a young person and then aging them is kind of like forensic art. Wonderful skill. But that is a skill for when you're feeling pretty darn confident with what you've got going on. I'm going to add a little bit of that dark value there and another little bit of that dark value there. So my suggestion is you could always, you know, drop the eyebrow, drop the lid, add more weight, put, you know, some wrinkles. Sometimes you can pull this lid out, depending on how old, because sometimes when people get a lot older, their lid starts to pull out and there's almost like a pocket, it gets redder. You see more of the ocular and there'll be more water in there. I love painting old people. I do. I may be one now though, so I don't know. I should be careful what I say. So we're creating those shadows that happen on an eye because the lid does cast a shadow, right? It just does. I'm going to come in here now and start to paint this inside. And I need a bunch more water on here because the pigments, all pigments kind of have a personality. And that particular pigment is certain blacks and certain grays will be a little bit gummier. It's an interesting thing. Pigments have personality. We'll put this in here because it kind of came up into the reflection. Another thing that you'll kind of see in a reflection is this sort of little lash effect, which you can do even as a new painter. Right? Convex little lash effect that can be happening. So you get those little lashes going in there now. Why not, right?
Mm.
A little bit more green. Come in and pull that there. I'm going to tip my thing up towards me just a bit. Just make sure I'm not too off. Sometimes you need to look at your stuff head on or it gets away from you. And when I paint on the flat, it does definitely impact me.
So
I'm just rounding that eye out a bit.
Tammy was saying that she has a palette that didn't come with any black. And how does she get a black?
Well, you can make a chromatic black generally. A little harder with watercolor, but any time you get a warm red, right? You can come into your ultramarine blue, and the warm reds do it. What it is it's the orange in it. I may have to even get some orange in there. Again, harder to do with watercolors to get to a chromatic black, but you can get there.
Your contest is closed.
My contest is closed, so we're going to be picking a winner. You've got to be here to win, so be sure that you're here. I'm going to get that nice brown out. So you can do them with watercolors, but they're harder because watercolors are glazes. Sometimes you can use things that are value to the eye, almost as dark as a black. I have on my YouTube channel a video about blacks. It's like an hour. I know that seems like a lot. Cover all the things you need to know about black pigments and things that are going on. The other thing that you can do when you don't have black in a set is use a pen that has black, right? Because sometimes you'll have another material that will have the color that you're looking for. I'm going to come here, and speaking of with the black, I'm going to get a little bit of my black, and I'm going to come across, making sure that there is kind of a under the lid, across the eye, and down little shadow. Can you guys see that?
I see it.
So that gives you some of, what you're looking for there. Bring that down. And that can even be quite dark through here. I'll curve that around to the corner of the eye and pull that in a bit. That lower lid. So now we've really kind of shaded that, and that looks wonderful. I've got to do the top lashes, but the issue with doing the top lashes right now, right this red hot minute, I'm going to get some of my white and kind of see if I can play with that a bit. The issue with doing that right this red hot minute is that if I were to pull black up there, this green would be pulled away. Add some weird like little milk into the center of my iris. I think that's gonna, oh yeah, that looks really cool. Sometimes you know things, you're like, I'm gonna do this crazy thing.
We have a winner selected.
We do have a winner selected. Please say their name.
Sarah Berry.
Sarah Berry.
Sarah Berry.
I'm gonna add some white here.
Please claim your prize.
Now, if you don't use Frisket, Sarah Berry, claim your prize.
What is Frisket?
Frisket is a liquid masking agent that protects your paper from the paint and water. If you don't have that, the other one you can do is you can take I don't really like this method, but you can take a knife, like an X-Acto knife, and scrape the paper back to white. I kind of tend to prefer the jelly pen. It's not about it being right or wrong. Come along here under this low lid. I like to always add like little bits of pops of like bright white. Like maybe right here, see like along these lashes. This is very powerful to add little bits of this wet kind of looking white to imply that the last time this person blinked. Right? So
all the other Sarahs are like, oh, so close.
So close.
Their little heart stopped right as Sarah and then Berry. It's like, oh,
Sarah Berry.
So we're waiting for Sarah Berry.
That's okay, because we're still painting.
Everyone is such a good sport. They're all congratulating her. She's not here yet, though.
She has 10 minutes to make it.
10 minutes.
10 minutes to make it, and then we pick another winner. If ever you are chosen and you can't make it, you just email us. We have kind of like a consolation thing because we always feel bad.
But you
don't get the palette.
You still have to come and tell me in like chat though.
Yeah, you do have to still come and tell John in chat.
There, I see her.
Yay, Sarah Berry. So what you do, Sarah Berry, is you get confirmed with Colleen, who's going to connect with you there, and then you're going to write us at support@theartsherpa.com. Colleen will put it in there, and we will coordinate your prize with you. Coming along here and making sure, and sometimes it's just nice to kind of add a little dark around to that. As you see, we go. I think this is ready for the lashes. Let's get into our lashes, yo. And we haven't used any black pen. We're going to get into our black here, and I'm going to load on the toe. If you don't have that, you can use a pen. We're going to come here and kind of do this, which is that they kind of come down and go back. When they're forward like this, it's an interesting thing. Dip in water, really improve the flow. And then as I come through the eye, right here at the top of the eye,
congratulations,
I begin to
Sarah.
curve those back. Go forward. Now listen, guys, if you like this free art class, watch my post. Watch for a post on this page tomorrow. Follow this page. I'm going to make a special announcement of a free art event coming up that everybody can come to with 30 or so of the best teachers on planet Earth in art that will be all free, and it'll be about wellness and well-being and everything. I will put that on the page. I imagine I will get it up there in mid-morning or so. And there's no like total crazy rush on doing it, but it's a thing coming up, and I think you guys are gonna think it's really special. As I come to the edge here, I'll make these lashes a bit longer, as you can see. I like to kind of curve them out and play with them. I like to give myself some long ones, man. I put some what is it when you go what is it where you go to have the lashes extended? I mean, I know it's lash extensions, but there's like a specific name for them, but I don't remember.
I don't know. I just saw all I can think of is that you use bat guano to make your eyelashes longer.
Use what?
Bat guano. That's what mascara started as.
Okay, I'm not doing any of that. There's no bat guano in my mascara. In fact, I'm pretty sure my bat guano mascara is bat guano free. I'm kind of adding a deep dark value to this line where the lashes are, because I just really want it to be shocking and stunning, because I'm going to come back with my my white pen as soon as that's dry, and then put a very special highlight on it.
Falsies?
I think they were called Lashish, or I don't know. It was back when they were first there. And so there's this last bit of reflection I really, really like to do. And it's kind of fun to do that if you can.
Can I share your Instagram so they can see all the little videos?
You can share my Instagram. Yes, you can.
Go check out the little videos that we've been making. They're really cool.
Add some blue up into this part here. There's sky reflection. Yes, it is true. If you go to my Instagram and you check the new Reels tab, there's some cool stuff going on. We being cool. So you can see that I add a little sky to that, so that has that little kind of reflection feel. And when this gets dry, guess what? I get to do that there too. Come back. Here, I just grab my pen. I wanted my white pen. I don't normally dry my paper with a hair dryer, just because, you know, the watercolor can go everywhere. But for time, I'm going to, in this instance, just so I can show you the last reflection.
Okay. Okay. So, don't use heat even in your watercolor, because it's bad. I don't think it actually matters here, to be honest. I don't know if heat matters at all in watercolor. I'd have to ask her. But don't use it, because that's my shtick. Don't use heat. And like, I can't change now. I've done it for this long. So thank you guys for joining us. We do appreciate you guys being here. Okay, she's not done. She's still got more to do, apparently. So, there she is.
Now, if this is dry, which it feels like it is, I'm going to take my jelly roll. This is by Sakura. I get them on Amazon or in the art store when it's open. And they're made to, work over dark paper. And so I find that they work really well on this because it lets you do this reflection, which is whatever's going on there under the lid, and it gives you that kind of cool bit there. Isn't that cool? Adding those little whites there. I love that. I'm pretty happy with this, guys. There we go. Let's look at it full. See how it came out. How did we nail it? You just kind of look at everything and you're like, did you get it where you wanted it? Did it go where it wanted to go? Things to look for when you're painting an eye is like, remember that it's basically like a marble shoved in a hole with skin stretched over it. I know that's kind of gross. And the marble's sort of semi-translucent, so the light's going through it. It's very like reflective and can be illuminated from the inside lens. And so that's lovely. And that the black is actually often a mirror. So that reflection that we always think of as being on the eye is probably like a sky or a light source reflection. And so that's really fun to keep track of. And remember, eyeballs are wet, so they will tend to have reflections. Remember that as the lashes come forward, they'll curve more to the left. They kind of central up. And then as they go out, they kind of curve back this way. And they're kind of mashy and mishmashy, right? Whenever you do both eyes, remember eyebrows are not twins, they're sisters. I mean, they're not identical twins. They should be pretty close sisters. They should be like Baldwins, right? They shouldn't be disparate, but
one can be a little heavier than the other.
Right. That's right. Eyebrows should be like Baldwins. They should definitely go together. They're in the same family, but it's not like,
they don't have to be
a double mint commercial. So
you'd be confused if you saw them next to each other.
I put my signature on this right now. Oh, that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed sharing that with you. Practice painting different eyes. Paint eyes from everybody. Paint different ages, different backgrounds. Just paint everything. Paint young, paint old. If you get a chance and you can find that recipe book, it's 400 Recipes for Skin Tones by Walter Foster. I usually have it in a link, but it is terrific. And every artist should have it. And it just answers very quickly all those questions. And also, I feel that it helps you see other people with a new kind of layer to it, because you'll see all the beauty that's out there in the world and all the diversity. It makes the box of crayons seem so much bigger. And I think that that's important for us all. Don't you, John?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, diversity in our box of crayons. So thank you for your time tonight. We're going to be back tomorrow to do Red in the Woods. She's going to be pretty special. We'll have another giveaway then. So you got to come by and check that out, because you could get the original painting. Be good to yourself. Be good to each other. And I want to see you at an easel really soon. Bye-bye.